Hey everybody, Andy Passmore, Movement Mortgage, NMLS 442330. Today we're here with Tom Williams with CMAC with credit mentoring and consulting. I almost got it wrong again, didn't I?
Yeah.
How long has CMAC been around?
CMAC has been in existence since 2001.
Okay. And you have been in the business how long?
5 years.
5 years, okay. Good, and you just recently moved to Augusta.
Yes, I moved from Ohio to Augusta.
Okay, and your company actually helps customers improve their credit scores and maybe develop habits on how to maintain good credit.
What we do is we use some strategies for the credit repair, but we also teach them how to control the credit bureaus and really how to control their own scores.
Okay, all right. So there's a lot of false information out there about credit scores,
Tremendous.
how to fix them and how to do all these kind of things. And we in the mortgage business see it every day. Somebody says, well, I did this and it didn't really help my credit. So I want to, I guess, dispel some of the myths that are out there. One of the myths is, that your income, the career you're in, your age, and all those things directly affect your credit score. Can you speak to that?
It has nothing to do with your credit score. The credit score is based on credit cards, credit installment loans. It has really nothing to do with your income.
Okay. So if I'm making $500 a week, my credit report doesn't show I'm making $500 a week.
That is correct.
Right. Okay. One of the other ones is, everybody nowadays that there's some companies, I won't name them, there's some companies out there that have apps and you can go and see what your credit score is.
Mm-hmm.
From an accuracy standpoint, what do you feel about those types of apps that are available?
The FICO score is what's used by 95%, and everything else really is not accurate at all.
Okay. Is it even a good a basis to even get an idea of what your credit's like, or?
Well, you really don't want an idea of your credit score. You want the exact.
Good point. That's a very good point. Another one is, another big myth is paying rent, paying my utilities, paying my cable bill, my cell phone bills, and all that stuff help to build my credit.
And that's another myth that does not help at all.
Okay. So in the mortgage world, we are able to use those if somebody does not have traditional credit. So in the mortgage world, if you're looking at buying a home and doing those type things, then we can use those as credit lines. But yes, they're not part of a traditional credit report.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So another one is you'll get a better score if you pay your credit card down to below 50% of the allowed high credit.
Correct. 50% is okay. 30% is better. The optimum is
10%.
10% of your credit limit.
Now, is that per card or is that aggregate? Is that like if you had 5 credit cards and one of them was at 100% and the other one was at 0, what's the difference
It's
there?
the accumulation of all of them.
All right, so if I have a total credit line on 10 credit cards of $10,000 and I have $8,000 in total on all of them, I'm basically 80% capacity.
You're losing points every day.
Losing point every day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. All right, so in relation to those credit cards,
Mm-hmm.
Closing credit cards completely, is that a risk for me? Is that going to help me or is that going to hurt me? Because I know you recently told me a story about what happened. And I would love for you to share that. That would be
Sure.
a great story.
There was a lady that we talked to that I told about the program, explained everything to them and to her, and she decided that she wanted to do it herself. She was a fairly intelligent young woman, and she thought that she was going to do it herself. She called me about a month later and said that her score had dropped to about 100 points. The reason being is that she paid a couple credit cards off, and that was good, but she closed them out. And when you close them out, if it's a $5,000 limit, you've lost that $5,000 on the positive side of your credit score. So
That's good advice. Yeah, because it's one thing to have the credit available to you, which means you're still in good credit standing, but when you close it, you lose that good credit standing potential.
one of the sayings in our industry is you can have as many credit cards as you like, you just can't have as many balances.
And by no means are we telling you to go out and get a bunch of credit cards. That's not what we're doing.
To give you an example, I have about 5. Okay. Very low balances on all of them. Most of them are paid off, but I use one for gas 1 month, pay it off. Then I'll go to another one, use gas for 1 month, pay it off. And that way you're not, you're still keeping them active, because some credit card companies may may close that credit card out for you without you even knowing it because of lack of activity.
Okay. All right. So collection accounts.
Mhm.
Another myth is that paying off a collection account will actually remove it from my credit report.
And it won't. No, it will not. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to get that removed by a letter that either goes to depending on what the coach thinks you should do, either going to that creditor or the collection agency.
Okay.
Sometimes a letter with the amount and saying, look, I'll pay this in a certain amount of time, they'll go for that and get it done.
Okay.
Take it off.
They'll actually agree to take it off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If you have that in the letter, see,
Right.
that's where a professional comes in.
Right, I got you. All right, so another one is it takes months to improve your credit. Somebody's told me before, I've been working on my credit for months. Well, you and I know well sometimes that even though they may be highly intelligent people, they just don't know the ins and outs of the credit reporting systems and the bureaus and how they all work. But I've heard people tell me, oh, it's going to take 5 to 6 months for me to improve my credit.
Yeah, that's not true at all. We've seen it happen within 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
So that's a big myth. But again, if you don't know what you're doing, you can run into a lot of problems.
Okay. I got one last one. Shopping around for the best rate on a mortgage or a car hurts my credit every time that they re-pull it for a different dealership or a different lender, this type of thing.
Well, generally you have 14 days in order to go around, and that only counts as one within that 14-day period. So let's say you go to Movement Mortgage, and then you go to another mortgage company. It's only going to hit you one time in that 14 days.
Okay.
Same thing with an auto loan.
Okay. So it's not they don't get dinged for shopping around and doing their due diligence to find out what's the best possible
That
thing
is
that
correct.
they can do.
That
Okay.
is correct.
Okay. Any one last piece of advice before we close the video?
Well, the only advice that I'd like to give to the viewers is that use a professional. One of the problems is that we're playing a credit game and nobody knows the rules. Well, we know the rules and we can help you. So I want to thank Andy for having me today.
If you would like more information about CMAC or Tom himself, please feel free to contact me directly. I'll even put Tom's phone number on this video. It'll be down here, and also just you can Facebook message us or just comment below on this Facebook post. Guys, have a great day. Thanks again.
Thank you.